Hello students, welcome back to our YouTube channel and we are here with this VARC weekly drill again. In this particular video, I am going to solve one reading comprehension based on the topic AI and ethics. So AI and ethics इस topic पे पता है आपको इस पिछले साल मतलब year 2025 के थर्ड स्लॉट में भी एक पैसेज आया था जो कि वो पैसेज तो कंपैरेटिवली इजी था लेकिन उसके क्वेश्चंस बहुत डिफिकल्ट थे। लेकिन अगर आप पैसेज क्विकली पढ़ लेते हैं और फिर क्वेश्चंस पे थोड़ा-सा ज़ोर देकर सॉल्व करते हैं तो इट वाज़ वेरी मच पॉसिबल, ठीक है? तो हम ये टॉपिक भी थोरोली समझेंगे बात करेंगे इसके बारे में ताकि यू फील कंफर्टेबल विद सच टॉपिक्स और हो सकता है इस ईयर में भी आपको इस टॉपिक पे कोई पैसेज देखने को मिले बिकॉज़ इट इज़ अ हॉट टॉपिक। एआई इज़ अ हॉट टॉपिक राइट नाउ, राइट? तो चलिए स्टार्ट करते हैं। पहले पैसेज पढ़ेंगे फिर क्वेश्चंस सॉल्व करेंगे। The passage given below is followed by two questions. Answer the questions based on the information given in the passage. ठीक है, चलिए passage पढ़ते हैं. The rapid integration of artificial intelligence into everyday decision making has transformed not only industries but also ethical frameworks within which these decisions are evaluated. So basically, अब क्या होने लग गया है? AI is everywhere, right? It is integrated in our everyday life and it has transformed industries, but not only industries, but the ethical framework as well. Algorithms now assist in hiring, credit scoring, medical diagnosis, and even judicial recommendations. So, all the important areas where human brain was considered as the topmost, the most, or I can say the creamiest of all layers, even after filtering them, a person could really reach at that particular position in these areas. So now it is done by AI itself. While these systems are often praised for their efficiency and perceived objectivity, such claims rest on the assumptions that data driven processes are inherently neutral. So, the data driven processes are neutral, they don't feel, they don't understand, they don't have that kind of intuitive power that is required in these particular areas. A premise that is increasingly being questioned. Critics argue that AI systems are far from impartial. They are not impartial, as they are trained on historical data that frequently reflect entrenched social biases. When such biases are encoded into algorithms, they risk being amplified under the guise of technological authority. So basically, what we are trying to say here is even if they look objective, they are not objective. AI is not objective because it is data driven and data is fed by us humans who have their limitation, who have their biases. So if based on these biases, AI is making judgments of us, it may happen that AI is actually amplifying our limitations rather than eroding it. Right? Compounding this issue is the opacity of many advanced AI systems. So it is quite opaque, it is not transparent. So it is very difficult to find out whether what AI is saying is actually transparent or not, whose internal workings remain inaccessible even to their creators. This black box nature makes it difficult to trace how specific decisions are made, thereby complicating efforts to assign responsibility when outcomes are unjust or harmful. So, if the output is harmful, uh, can be considered the ultimate authority? Nobody can be because of this black box nature. Now, if I am the one who is feeding a lot of data to AI, and AI as a judge is giving a judgment in criminal prosecution. Then it's not just me. There are many other people who are feeding data. Now there are 10 other people like me involved in this case. But the creator also does not know who is feeding data because it is quite opaque. Now, if the judgment is wrong and if something happens to the person who is actually ethical and not the criminal, then who is the responsible one? How are you going to set accountability? If 10 of us are doing it and we are the wrong doers, then how are you going to set accountability here? That's the biggest question people are asking to AI or about AI now. Yet the solution may not lie in rejecting AI altogether, nor its uncritically embracing it. Instead, a growing body of thought suggests that innovation must be reimagined as an ethically embedded process. Okay, it is an ethically embedded process. You cannot completely reject it, or you cannot completely embrace it. In fact, you have to understand that it should be reimagined as ethically embedded process. This would entail designing systems that are not only efficient but also transparent, accountable, and subject to continuous ethical scrutiny. So, if such AI come into the picture, there are higher chances that this problem will go. In this sense, the future of AI may depend less on technological sophistication alone and more on the values that guide its development and deployment. Okay, so it will be based more on its development and deployment rather than technological sophistication. Okay, so this was about the passage, guys. Now let us solve questions. Which of the following statements is not inconsistent with author's view? Which means which is consistent with author's view. AI systems are entirely objective. Sorry. AI systems are entirely objective because they rely on data rather than human judgment. So, this extreme opinion is completely wrong because we are not saying that they are completely objective. In fact, we are raising the question if we are the people who are, you know, feeding data to AI certainly carries our biases and judgments. Then how come AI can be considered? Then how can we consider AI as objective? It is not objective. Ethical concerns regarding AI can be addressed without altering the pace of innovation. Now, ethical concerns not consistent regarding AI addressed without altering the pace. No, we are not saying that ethical concerns can be considered without, we are not talking anything about it. So whether it is consistent, not consistent, it is basically not consistent. We are not saying anything about that, about pace. AI development should incorporate ethical considerations as an integral component. Absolutely, it goes with what author is trying to say. Author is trying to say that the development of AI will basically be dependent on the deployment of AI, will be dependent on the ethical framework of AI. So this is what the author is trying to say. Now this goes with author's argument, but we will check the last one. The opacity of AI systems has no bearing on accountability. It certainly has bearing on accountability issues. So this cannot be our answer. C is the correct answer, guys. Now let us solve the second question too. Which of the following can be most strongly inferred from the passage? Which can be inferred from the passage? Eliminating bias from AI systems is impossible due to flawed data. Uh, yeah, we can say that, but we will still check the options. Transparency in AI systems could improve accountability for their decisions. Of course, we are also saying that, right? That transparency in AI systems could improve accountability for their decisions. Of course, we are saying the black box nature of AI is basically the main reason why accountability cannot be set on anyone. AI systems could replace human decision making in all domains. No, that's not what can be inferred. That's not what we are saying. Ethical scrutiny of AI will significantly slow technological progress. This is all, we are not talking about technological progress here. We are talking about how AI can be ethical, right? So, no, we are not saying that technological progress will significantly slow down if there is some ethical scrutiny of AI. We are not saying that, so this cannot be inferred from the passage. Now, let us take into account A and B. Eliminating bias from AI system is impossible. We are saying impossible due to flawed data. Uh, this cannot be inferred. We are not saying that it is completely impossible. We are saying it is possible if there are some systems into the place, if we are able to see how transparent the data in itself is. So this, the loophole of this is covered into this particular option. So B option is the most correct option here. So guys, I hope you have understood the passage. I hope you have understood the topic.